Okay, I think I'll go ahead and get started. So good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name's Chantel Smith. I am the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Inclusive Communities here in the Honors College at the University of Maryland. And we're so happy to have you here to learn more about the Honors College tonight. Joining me for this webinar, we have in the room Dr. Jenny Lang, who serves as the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment within the Honors College here. And we have our lovely graduate assistant in honors, Miss Abby Benton, and a few of our current students who I'll have introduce themselves at the end before we start our Q&A session. So this presentation will be about give or take 15 minutes, and then I will open up the floor to answer questions until about 6 p.m. unless we answer your questions all before then. Please make sure that you're using the chat area just if you have like any technical issues. For example, if you can't hear us or something like that, you can put those concerns in the chat area. Otherwise, if you have questions, you can put that in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen or phone. That is the best place to place them since that's where we're tracking our questions. You have the option to upvote a question if another attendee has asked a question that you're also curious about. If you push the upvote option, it'll show on my end that multiple people are trying to get an answer to that question, and it actually kind of shoots it up the queue as a priority. So you do have that option as well. If you want, you can start putting your questions in the Q&A section as we're doing the presentation, although some may get answered during that time. It's okay. You can just kind of start putting them in there if you want to. And like I said, at the end, I will open it up again for you guys to do that. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. All right, so for those who may not be familiar with who we are, the Honors College is home to 8 different living learning programs on campus at UMD. And living learning programs basically is a specialized partnership between our resident life staff and other student services staff on campus. The faculty and academic administrators link the curricular and residential experiences in ways that create opportunities for deeper understanding and integration of classroom material. So basically, you can look at the Honors College as an enhancement to your education that allows you to take a different option of classes, that those classes actually will can fulfill some of the requirements, your graduation requirements. So it kind of like helps out. Plus, we have a co-curricular component included. So our goal with this really is to foster learning inside and outside of the classroom and to create a supportive, close-knit community for our students. So we're looking past academics and providing opportunities for students to connect with faculty, each other, and the community around them. And one of the most important parts of our community actually lies within our mission and culture of inclusive excellence, which binds the pursuit of academic excellence to values of difference and diversity and uses that power, the power of our knowledge to promote justice, equity, and engagement in the world. So with this in mind, our hope and goal is that when our honor students graduate, that they're able to be critically self-reflective on their knowledge and experiences, ethically aware to be able to make right and moral decisions, willing to take intellectual and creative risks, and that they're prepared to work collaboratively.
As Chantel mentioned, all students who are invited to the Honors College will be in one of our unique living learning programs, the 8 programs. Each program has a different curriculum, an area of focus or approach which students will pursue to earn their honors citation. After the admission decisions are released, students will have the opportunity to identify which of these living learning programs they prefer through our preferencing form, and then students will know which program they're in well before they confirm their decision to enroll at the University of Maryland. So, a little bit about each of the 8 programs. First off is the Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students program, known as ACES. This program develops successful, forward-thinking cyber leaders who create a safer world by embracing both the technical and non-technical aspects of cybersecurity. Design Cultures and Creativity explores the roles and impact of design in our societies and creative practices in ways that cut across STEM and non-STEM disciplines. These students are theorists and thinkers who investigate the digital age through designing, analyzing, and creating. Gemstone is a unique multidisciplinary four-year research program for honor students of all majors who are interested in leadership, teamwork, and social impact. Students will work in teams of 8 to 12, beginning at the end of their freshman year and continuing all the way through their senior year on a specific research project with the guidance of a dedicated faculty mentor. Honors Global Challenges and Solutions offer students an opportunity to adopt a global framework of understanding and to deeply engage with contemporary global affairs and issues. Through the dual lenses of social science and data science, HGLO empowers students to understand, analyze, and address major global challenges. Honors Humanities is for students of all majors who have an interest in exploring the arts and humanities in all their creative, social, and global dimensions, empowering students to find their voices in imagining their future and in changing the world. Integrated Life Sciences offers unparalleled, accelerated, and innovative courses and research opportunities in all areas of the life sciences, as well as service learning experiences that are designed to launch the careers of outstanding students exploring all aspects of life sciences. Interdisciplinary Business Honors offer students a big picture view of business in relation to multiple fields, life callings, and social issues. Students will combine access to cutting-edge professional and technical business skills with broader thinking about the role of business in the world and in relation to multiple academic fields. Then they'll apply this knowledge to thinking critically about the great challenges of our time, including social, environmental, public health, and human rights topics. And finally, University Honors, our oldest and largest program, is a program which is not defined by a specific subject, but rather draws on distinguished faculty from across campus to teach fascinating courses on big questions and ideas from different disciplinary perspectives, STEM and non-STEM. Students will pursue their curiosity wherever it leads as they also encounter multiple perspectives of thinking. Every single one of these programs is available to students of any major. So honor students can be in a living learning program that is related to their major to go more in depth in their chosen field of study, or they may be in a program which is the complete opposite of their major, which gives them a real opportunity to broaden their experience during their time at the University of Maryland.
All right, so as we look at some of the benefits of being an honor student, some of them include that our students take small discussion-based courses, many of which are going to be smaller than the regular courses that are offered at UMD for all students. Also, our students will earn an honor citation at the end of their curriculum, which is dependent on which program they're in. And you can expect that the curriculum will be between around 15 to 18 credits. And usually our students complete that curriculum within 2 years. Although we do have, as Jenny just stated, Gemstone is a 4-year research-based program. So our students will earn their citation. Those students will earn their citation at the end of their 4 years. And the citation is also notated on their transcript when they graduate. So that's also a benefit. In addition, we give our students a plethora of different opportunities to connect more authentically with fellow honor students and with the faculty and staff. We also offer opportunities such as study abroad, internship, and research opportunities that are both on and off campus. And then one misconception about the Honors College is that our students are siloed away from the rest of campus, which is absolutely not true. So most of the time, our students are participating fully in the life of the university and are members of multiple organizations and departments across campus. So they're pretty active and they're not siloed at whatsoever. And also, like I said, we kind of offer like multiple different ways for our students to get connected. Some include social events. So that way we are encouraging our students to connect both with the entire Honors College community, and they'll also have opportunities within their specific living learning programs to connect with each other. And one of our most popular events for our students and staff is our ice cream socials. We actually have one coming up next week, so I'm looking forward to that. And if you don't know, our ice cream is actually coming from Maryland Dairy on campus. So if you haven't tried it, you should definitely give it a try. It's really delicious.
Our location near Washington, D.C. gives our students access to many internship opportunities in the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. region. Each of our programs also will bring in experts in the field of study to meet with their students. So, for example, the ACES program, which is the cybersecurity program, has a career mentor component where experts from organizations such as the NSA will come in and talk to the students in the program about their career, how they got there, and then also offer the students guidance on their careers. And internships are available both during the school year and over the summer, and both on and off campus.
All right, and touching a little bit back onto the research opportunities that are offered. So, University of Maryland actually is a Research One institution. So basically what that means is we typically have more access to grants and labs and more faculty. And because of this, we have more opportunities for our undergrad students to get involved. So like I mentioned before, one of the benefits about being in the Honors College or just being in the Live and Learn program overall is that typically offers smaller class sizes. So with that, you're able to connect more closely, like I said, with the students, but also with the faculty faculty that teaches the classes, which then gives our students more access to those faculty labs. So our research opportunities are available, like I said, both on and off campus. And then also because of our prime geographical location, our students have easy access to different research opportunities in the area to include, but not limited to, John Hopkins, and the National Institutes of Health, and you can see a few other ones on the screen.
The University of Maryland offers lots of study abroad options for our students. I will be very honest, many of our students are in majors that have very heavy course loads, so it might make studying abroad for an entire semester challenging depending on a student's major. But there are winter, spring break, and summer study abroad programs available for all students. If there are students who are interested in studying abroad for a semester, they should talk to their advisor about these possibilities as early as possible. You should visit the study abroad office on campus once you get to campus, and look out for news once students are here about the study abroad office offers a study abroad fair every semester. So they have opportunities open for students to learn about them once a semester on campus. Some of our living learning programs, there's an option for study abroad to meet a citation requirement to earn the citation. It's a great way to pursue study abroad and to complete citation requirements at the same time. And some of our programs offer their own study abroad programs specifically for the students in their program. So again, lots and lots of different opportunities for study abroad.
Okay, so our students in getting involved. So like I said earlier, our students are not siloed away from campus. They're highly involved, usually across campus, across their different academic departments and also different student organizations on campus. So UMD, you probably already know, is pretty large. And so with that, there's so many different opportunities to get involved across campus. I believe there's around 800, if not more, of different orgs that students can get involved in. So within the Honors College, we actually offer a few of our own for our students. And you can see some of this on the screen. I'll just highlight a couple. So the first one, very near and dear, and I'm biased, but our Honors Ambassadors is our a student volunteer organization that consists of our current students who make themselves available to talk with prospective students, like the student panel that we have tonight with us. These students participate and are included in all of our on-campus and virtual recruiting events, and are super, super, super resourceful, especially for any prospective student or family member who's looking to get a little bit more information about the university and the Honors College specifically. Also, each of our living learning programs offers student advisory boards. So basically those students on that board serve as a connection between the students in the program and the faculty and staff who run that program. So these students organize and give input on different things like social events and program specific activities outside of the academic curriculum. And there's also a student advisory board at the Honors College Central level that meets with the executive director of the Honors College. So there's so many different opportunities for our students to not only get involved, but also get into leadership positions within the Honors College.
And when students are here on campus, we have a scholarship office for our students to help connect our students with scholarships that fit their goals and skills. Many of our Honors College students have been very successful in applying for and winning these competitive national and international awards. On this slide, you can see just a few of the national awards and scholarships that our students in honors have earned in recent years. Now, hopefully, you are interested in finding out, how do I become a part of the Honors College? So the good news is there's no additional application to be considered for the Honors College. So students just need to apply to the University of Maryland College Park by the early action deadline of November 1st. So all students who apply by November 1st are automatically considered for admission to UMD, consideration for Honors College and other special programs, and considered for academic merit scholarships. So if you take nothing else from tonight, please take that if you are a senior this year, please apply by November 1st. When we are evaluating applications for the Honors College, we do a holistic review of the entire application. We take into consideration the academic record, standardized test scores if submitted, rigor of curriculum and extracurricular activities, among other factors. An important thing to know is that for students applying for fall 2025, so this year's seniors, UMD is test optional. That means that a student can decide whether or not they want to apply with their test scores. Just make sure that if you say you're applying with test scores, make sure that you have test scores submitted by November 1st officially from the College Board or the testing board. If you say you want to apply with test scores and you do not have test scores submitted by November 1st, then your application is considered incomplete. So you may choose, though, whether you want to submit scores. If you don't want to submit scores, that is fine. You will still receive full consideration for admission, for invitation to the Honors College and other special programs, and for academic merit scholarships. If you are not a senior this year or your student is not a senior, please check back with us. The university only has a decision through fall 2025. So if you're not applying for next year, check back with us about whether UMD will continue to be test optional or not. Most of the students that are invited to the Honors College will fall near the top of UMD's admitted class in terms of standardized test scores and academic performance. They will earn very nearly all A's, if not all A's, in the most rigorous courses available to them at their high schools. We do pay attention to what a particular high school offers, the coursework that a particular high school offers, and what students have taken advantage of in terms of rigor. And if a student is invited to the Honors College, that information will come with their acceptance letter. So students who apply by November 1st will receive a UMD decision on or before February 1st. And if you're invited to the Honors College, that information will be in your admission letter. So you can see our entering fall class this year, so our fall 2024 incoming class, our current freshmen. We had about just a little under 1,050 students enroll. The average GPA for this class was 4.68. Having said that, I'm going to say we do not ever make decisions based on a GPA. That is the average GPA of our admitted students, but again, we look at individual students, the courses they've taken, the grades they've received, and the courses that are available to them at their school. For the students who chose to submit with a test score, again, not everyone did. I think we had about 50% of the students apply test optional. So for those who did submit test scores, the middle 50% of our current freshman class, 1560 to 1560. And again, for the ACT, middle 50% was 34 to 35.
All right, so as Jenny said, you have to apply by the November 1st deadline to be considered for any liberal learning programs on campus and merit scholarships. So Maryland offers several different merit scholarship opportunities. One of them is the Banneker Key, which is Maryland's most prestigious scholarship, and it's housed within honors. So all freshman applicants, like I said, that apply to UMD by that November 1st deadline, which is next Friday, they're also invited to Honors College. So you do have to be invited to the Honors College as well. they're actually automatically considered for this exceptional scholarship opportunity. So there's no additional application materials that are required, and that is also that also applies to any of the other merit scholarships that Maryland offers. So this scholarship opportunity is offered to only a select group of applicants. As you can see on the screens, less than 400 students annually that we invite to interview. And these students that we select have demonstrated significant academic leadership and accomplishment within their high school, and who we believe will enrich and benefit from the campus learning environment here. So there are two different levels of funding for the Banneker Key Scholarship. There's a full scholarship and a partial scholarship. So the full scholarship provides full tuition, resident hall room, and basic resident dining hall or dining plan for 4 years. The partial currently provides $8,000 for in-state students and $12,000 for out-of-state students annually. And so both levels of the scholarship do include an additional book allowance each year. So here on the slide, you can just see quick stats on our recent graduates from the past academic year for spring, summer, and December graduation. So we had 69% of our graduates actually had a job lined up right out of college. So that's really great. 27% of the students that graduated decided that they were going to continue their education and attend graduate school. We also had a small percentage of students that also decided to take on opportunities like AmeriCorps, Peace Corps, and also joining the military and stuff of that nature.
So some examples of the types of continuing education that our students attend include med school, law school, teaching, occupational therapy, nutrition and dietetics, engineering, and forensics, and a list of the schools that some of the schools that our students attended who graduated in the past year are attending is listed there. And then for career placement, some examples include a legal secretary with the Baltimore County Office of the State's Attorney, post-baccalaureate research fellow with the National Cancer Institute, commercial cyber consultant with Booz Allen Hamilton, and a research coordinator with the Global Mental Health and Addiction Program. And on the right side of the screen is a list of some of the places that our students are working now. And this is just a small sample of some of the many opportunities for our students after graduation.
Awesome. So there we go. So that's the end of our formal presentation. A couple of things to note before we open up for questions. Also, this is the time to start putting your questions in the Q&A area if you haven't done so already. But do not forget to apply by the November 1st early action deadline, which is next Friday. So it's coming up very, very soon. You have to submit your completed application, all application materials. So as Jenny stated earlier, especially about like if you're deciding to submit your standardized test scores, if you decide and you select that you're gonna do that or submit it, you have to submit it. If you select that you're going to submit it and you do not turn it in, your application is going to be marked as not complete. So please, please, please pay attention to that and really think about whether you want to submit it or not. And I think Jenny may have mentioned this too, but for those who probably didn't catch it, please do not be discouraged to choose not to submit your test scores. I think like 50% of students last year did not submit their test scores, and they still found a place here at UMD and in the Honors College and other living learning programs on campus, to include earning merit scholarships and other things. So really think about that before you make that selection on the application. Also, like I said, if you're interested in merit scholarships, that is also the deadline for being considered for that, the November 1st deadline. If you want to learn more about the Honors College, you can visit our website at honors.umd.edu. We have a lot of information there. We have an opportunity for you. I think it's on our About Us page. We'll put it in the chat later on. I don't know exactly where it is, but there's an opportunity for you to connect with our lovely honors ambassadors. If you're interested in kind of learning a little bit more about UMD and possibly shadowing them. So the opportunity is called Host a Day, and there's two different versions of the opportunity. If you're not able to visit campus, then there is a virtual option where you get to like have a one-on-one meeting with one of our ambassadors, and you can ask all your burning questions there. Also, if you are in the area and you're available to kind of stop by for a couple hours, you can also opt to do an in-person Host a Day, which basically means you be shadowing that student that you're assigned to throughout the day in their classes, and also if they have like clubs and stuff like that, they're allowed to bring guests. Then if you decide you want to do that, you can also do that too. So it really gives you a chance to see a day in the life of an honor student and just in general a UMD student to see if UMD will be a good fit for you. This is also being recorded. And so I think I'm going to put this recording on the website in the next couple of days, but there currently is a recording from a couple weeks ago. The info session we did a couple weeks ago. So you can visit that one and look at that if you have any questions following this webinar. But I'll probably also post this one as well, since sometimes the questions at the end change. If you have any follow-up questions, you can contact me and Jenny at honorsandmissions@umd.edu and just let us know, and we'll get right back to you. And then also, if you kind of just want to stay in the loop about what we're doing in honors, I encourage you to follow us on our Instagram page at Terp Honors, so that you can kind of stay engaged with us. All right. So I am going to unshare my screen, and then I will let our student ambassadors introduce themselves, and then we will jump right into the questions. Again, go ahead and put your questions in the chat area in the Q&A area if you haven't done so already. All right. AJ, you can come on camera now. Awesome. So we're gonna start with Sam. Will you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name is Samantha. I'm an animal science major, planning on doing a double degree also in biological sciences with concentration in microbiology, and also a minor in sustainability. And I am a sophomore.
Awesome. Thanks. Ursula?
Everyone, my name is Ursula. I am a junior this year, and I'm a finance and accounting dual major, and I'm part of the interdisciplinary business honors program.
Thanks. Brian?
Hey everyone, my name is Bryant, pronouns he, him, his. I'm a senior majoring in middle school math and science education with a minor in disability studies, and I was part of the Design Cultures and Creativity Living and Learning program.
Thank you. Brooke?
Hi, I'm Brooke. I'm a senior geospatial data science and anthropology double degree, and I was a part of UH.
Tracy?
Hi everyone, my name's Tracy. I'm a sophomore physiology and neurobiology major and sociology minor, and I'm in the integrative life sciences program.
Last but not least, Sanika?
Hi everyone, I'm Sanika. I'm a senior and I'm doing a dual degree in physiology and neurobiology as well as business management, and I was in the university honors program.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right. So actually this. All right. There's a question. I'm gonna try to address them in some type of order. The first one I see that's been upvoted a couple of times. What do you look for in you said the short essays. I'm assuming you're referring to the application to the school. Jenny?
Yeah, sorry. That is not a question for our students, since our students don't do the application review. If they remember anything about their short essay and want to share, they're welcome to, but they don't necessarily know what specific things, specific reasons they were invited. I will say in general, in the application as a whole, we're looking for you to tell us about yourself. The application is your opportunity to tell us who you are, what you're interested in, what you are passionate about, what your strengths are, everything like that. So any way that you can tell us something about you will be good. The short answers are an excellent place for that. The recommendation I typically make is these are things that we really enjoy reading in the application. You want to go into depth, give us a little bit of detail. Don't give us a basic answer. So, for example, I know one of the questions is, my favorite thing about last Thursday was, don't answer that with having dinner with my family. Give us a little bit more than that. It can be having dinner with your family, but tell us why. So that is my recommendation on the short answers, but overall, in general, in your application, tell us about yourself, because that is the only way we will know it, is if you put it in the application.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Is a potential downside of selecting a humanities-based living learning community as a STEM major that you wouldn't have access to health-related internship opportunities? And then also the second part of the question, would there be a greater access to them if you joined an honors program such as integrated life sciences or university honors? So we do have someone from ILS on the line, on the webinar, but also do we have any STEM majors who are in a humanities-based program? Or you can also speak if you have like a friend that's doing that and you kind of know a little bit more information about that. Oh, if not, that's I'll jump in and say it. So the main question or general question is basically, or general answer is, honors college in general is interdisciplinary. So we highly encourage students to select whatever program or preference whatever programs they're interested in, regardless of their major. So Jenny kind of stated this earlier, she touched on it earlier in the presentation, but basically you have an option to, if you are a STEM major, let's say you're a bio major, you have an option to preference our integrated life sciences program, which obviously has a high emphasis on life sciences, which would be more in line with what your major is. Or you can do something maybe outside of that you're just interested in. Maybe you like theater or dance or the arts or something like that. We have our honors humanities program. And so you can also preference that if that's something that you're interested in. So really it's up to you and what you want to do and how you want to kind of have your experience. But I can assure you that we kind of have a mixture of both, like students doing both options across all of the different programs. So you are not limited. As far as the second question that you said about having greater access to health-related internship opportunities. So we do offer internship opportunities within the Honors College, but there's so many different internship opportunities across campus. But specifically, I do know that ILS does have some, they do more tailored, I guess, advising and stuff like that in regards to students who are in health-related majors. Tracy, did you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so for ILS, part of our citation is doing, I think, like 240 hours of research. And the research that we're like quote unquote required to do for our citation has to be like kind of life sciences focused. So right now I'm in a research lab doing neuroscience research on like infants and babies. And even though that's not like straight up like biology, it's a little more like psychology focused, it still counts because it is like life sciences. But I know a lot of people doing like a lot of different like types of life sciences research. So like you can do like your like cell biology or like neuroscience or even like chemistry in a way. So there's definitely like a lot of different things you can do, and it's like very flexible on the requirements that you have to do for the citation. But even then, I would say that ILS does help with finding you like a research internship on campus. But at the end of the day, like you can really find whatever you think is like you're passionate about and what you're interested in. And like it's just really like the things that you're looking for and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I would say that ILS does help you find it, but you do have to do some of the work yourself to find those internships and research.
Thank you, Tracy. Go ahead, Brooke.
Hi, so I'm not in a health field, but I am in UH and I'm also in STEM. So I can give you a little insight about that. And I did hold an internship this past summer. And even though UH and ILS have a little bit of differences when it comes to the requirements, UH doesn't have an internship requirement. So we don't have the same, like, we don't get set up with things on campus that are in the same way that ILS does. But we do have a couple of classes and resources within UH that gave me a lot of the skills that I needed to help me get into my internship. We have a class that you have to take around your junior years, normally when it lands. So it's like you're like finishing up your citation, and a lot of that class is about getting your resume ready, writing cover letters, and it's tailored to you. It's for UH students. So that was something that I was able to get like someone who is our UH professor to look over my resume. It was very personalized. So although my internship didn't come directly from UH, I definitely got a lot of great skills from UH that helped me get it, if not made it happen.
Thank you. Samantha?
Yeah, in addition to that, I'm from HGLS Honors Global Challenges and Solutions, and we have also an internship track where there's a variety of different type of internships you can do, like political ones, medical ones, so many choices, but it really sets you up to learn how you need to get an internship, what you need to do in that field, and all of whatever it requires. So there are a lot of different opportunities, whichever program you choose. I know, like, I have a lot of friends who chose some humanities programs just because they wanted something a little bit outside of their major, and they're perfectly happy with it, and they still get all of these opportunities too.
Thank you. Thank you for adding that, guys. And I also wanted to mention the opposite can happen too. So we were talking about being STEM majors and like humanities thing, but also ILS, like I said, is heavily focused on life sciences, but you do not have to be in the life sciences to be in ILS. So you really do kind of have flexibility and options depending on how you want to kind of create your experience here. All right, this one is for Ursula. Could you give more insight into your finance and accounting double major?
Yeah, I definitely can. So, I initially came in as just a finance major, and I took my first accounting class my um, first semester of freshman year, and I realized that I really enjoyed it, to be honest. I think that's maybe not something that a lot of people experience, but I think I'm very much a numbers person, and I've always kind of enjoyed kind of like the puzzle piece aspect of kind of like both finance and accounting, that it's like everything connects to like a larger picture. And I knew like I'm in the IBH program, interdisciplinary business honors program. So I feel like maybe it may seem like it's a lot of business, 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 but I feel like I was able to like connect the skills that I'm learning through IBH with like the amount of presentations that we're doing and kind of like learning from guest speakers and connecting it to my kind of involvement at Smith, the business school. And I think if you are considering like being a business major on campus, like it's very easy to double major if that's something that you're interested in. And even if it's not business or it's someplace else, UMD does provide you with a lot of resources in order to double major, not just within your initial school, but also with other schools. I know a lot of people who do that. One of my friends is like information systems and government and politics. So really anything is possible when it comes to like combination of majors. And I would say for me personally, like my background with like finance and accounting has definitely, and IBH honestly as well, has given me like a really good setup when it comes to getting internships and kind of setting myself up for success in the professional world. I've been interning with the Department of Justice for more than a year now. I've had an internship this past summer with another firm, and I've already finished my recruiting for next summer as well, with PwC. So it's kind of like you have a lot of opportunities at hand, both through the Honors College and Smith, that really set you up for success when it comes to your professional development.
Thank you. That was super thorough. Appreciate that. Um, so if that person who submitted it has any follow-up questions, feel free to kind of put that in the Q&A section. Really quickly before we go back to the students, I did see a question in regards to the application again. So I want to pull Jenny in since it looks like they got upvoted. When writing the personal statement for UMD, I'm assuming you're also talking about the essay. Do you look for more of an academic focused story or a story that would describe the applicant as a person?
So we're not looking for anything specific. In fact, I would also say that an academic focused story may describe the applicant as a person. Again, I would advise tell us something about yourself. I'm not going to lie, we do get a lot of essays about athletics or about a specific, event in school or, family, or there's lots of sort of repeat topics, and that's okay. As long as it's your own personal story, it's written as well as you can write it. And it is something that, again, tells us about you as a person. So it can be focused on academics, it can be focused on athletics, it can be focused on other extracurricular activities. All of those are fine as long as it tells us something about you as a person and is well written.
Thank you. Next question is about Gemstone. We do not have a student here from Gemstone, but I can answer that the best of my abilities. The question is your Gemstone team the same members throughout your 4 years, and do you have the same research advisor? So for those who probably missed the brief description that Jenny gave about Gemstone, it is a 4-year research-based program. It's the only 4-year program that we offer in honors. And you are assigned a team at the end of your freshman year. And so you will work with that team throughout your time here, completing your research. And you will be assigned an advisor, research advisor, and also you'll have like a library a staff member or representative to help you with that too. So you actually have multiple different resources to kind of like tag into your research. I think that's pretty much generally speaking. If you have any other like more specific questions in regards to that, you can put that in the chat and try to address it if I know the answer. All right, Tracy, back to you. Are most of the ILS pre-med are pre-med or interested in the healthcare field based off of what you know? So I know you don't know like numbers, but based off of what you know, do you see that's the case? And if so, how does ILS provide advantages to those students?
So I will say that a big majority of the students in ILS are pre-health, so that does include like pre-med and like pre-PA, ophthalmology, and like all of like the pre-health fields. Um, that's not to say that like there aren't students in ILS who aren't pre-med, because like again, a lot of people in ILS are like, I feel like most people are either pre-health or they want to do like graduate school and like go into research, and that definitely like ILS does help with that. But as for providing advantages for students who are in pre-med, so I myself am pre-med, and I think that ILS does help a lot because a lot of the classes that we're required to take for ILS overlap with the classes that are required for medical school. So it's a good way to kind of like kill two birds with one stone instead of having to take like the class twice. And you also get to take the honors versions of the classes. So right now I'm taking cell biology, and there's like an honors version, which is like for ILS students. And there's also like a normal version where like other UMD students get to take. So in the ILS version of the cell biology class, it's like your cohort of ILS students. So there's like I think about like 70 of us compared to maybe like a full lecture hall of like maybe like upwards of like 100 students. So the community and like the class sizes are a lot smaller in the ILS classes. And that does help with like the community and like the friends you make, and like having friends taking the same classes as you allows you to build like friendships and connections that help you along the pre-med journey. And I guess another thing that ILS does help with is like again research. So having research for like your pre-med application is like really important. And since ILS does require that, that's also kind of like a two birds in one stone because you're getting that research requirement for ILS, but also for medical school. And in addition to research, ILS is pretty big on like community service and community involvement. So one of our requirements for our citation is to do like a service learning project where you have to like partner with a community organization and do like service hours with them. So what I did for my service project was I was part of Maryland Mentor Corps, which is a on-campus organization where we go out into local elementary schools and middle schools and like mentor kids and tutor them. And that was my service learning. I'm honestly still part of it today, even though I did that last semester, my project. But like doing stuff like that where it's like service learning and volunteering, that's also again like the two birds in one stone. Like so there's a lot of overlap with the things that ILS requires and like the pre-med requirements. And again, like a lot of people in ILS are pre-med and the advisors and professors there like they're there to help you with ILS classes, but they also are pretty knowledgeable about like what's required for medical school and like just making sure you're getting everything you need. So it definitely, I would say it does help with pre-med, but again, you don't have to be a pre-med student to be an ILS.
Thank you. Go ahead, Samantha.
Yeah, I'd just like to throw in there, I know a ton of pre-med or just like pre-health students in all of the different honors programs. Personally, I'm pre-vet, but I have a couple other friends who are pre-med, and my program's not at all related to science, and we still are definitely prepared through UMD's resources as well.
Thank you. We have a couple more questions, but I wanted to take a chance to ask our seniors something since they're about to leave and we want to grab as much information from them as possible. So yes, seniors, come forward. So my question for you is since one, you've already completed your curriculum for honors, and two, you're kind of at the end of your undergrad career. Can you talk to us about what benefits, now that you're looking back at it, have you found kind of helped by being in the honors college? And also, do you have any advice for our students who are currently, these students are currently going through the admissions process or applying to schools right now? So any advice that you have about going through that process, if you can remember, that was like several years ago for you, but if you can remember back to that, any advice for them going through that process right now?
I can go first. Sorry. Yeah. I was in university honors for 2 years, and one thing I would say is I am like a pre-med, like physiology, neurobiology. Like I came in as biology as my primary major. And one thing I did find was that because I was in university honors, I had access to classes that were about like racial equity. They were about like business, like kind of a very multidisciplinary approach. And so like it was very different from what I was learning in my chemistry and biology classes. So because I was exposed to this like difference in curriculum, I then decided to add on like business management as a double major because I realized like I want to kind of expand what I'm learning outside of just biology. So I think like especially in programs like UH, and I know a lot of the other programs where there's people from a lot of different majors, it's really nice to be able to expose yourself to different people from different majors, different communities. And I think like diversity is definitely a really huge thing that I really appreciated being a part of the honors college. And thinking back to when I applied, I guess I just say that I think Dr. Lang has talked about this a lot, but kind of coming across as a person on your application, aside from your stats and aside from like all the things you've achieved, like I think just like showing your personality and like, I don't know, like what makes you different as a student and as a person is really important. And yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, I was also in UH for 2 years, and I think something that has stood out to me the most is just in that time was also like the multitude of classes that I got to take. I took a class all about the history of pirates, which is something I would have not gotten a chance to take. And I took another class on feminism, and I feel like I just was able to become a very well-rounded student, learning things outside of what I would be learning in my other classes. Another great thing that benefited me a lot is that a lot of my classes actually covered my gen ed requirements as well. So that was something that really helped me be able to take other classes at the university and things like that. And my bit of advice about the application process is take a deep breath and that it'll all be okay and that you're going to do wonderfully and that you're going to end up where you need to be.
Thank you.
adding on to that advice, also the admission answers that you get, all those don't define you as a person at all. Just be yourself in all your applications. And it really is all about making sure that you end up in the right spot. As Brooke mentioned, you will end up wherever you are destined to end up or where the community thinks you will be able to thrive the most. And that's also applicable when choosing your LLPs, your living learning programs. You might not get your number one choice, but you definitely will get your second or third one. And that is just to ensure that you are being put in a community where the Honors College believes you will be able to thrive and be able to really help further grow that community in the best way possible. So again, the application results do not define you, and just do your best. Everything will be a-okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I know there's there's an honors ambassador, in fact, who HGLO, with the program I'm in, was not his first choice, and he loves it. And so many other people who have chosen a variety of different programs and they didn't get their first pick, they really enjoyed it and found their place in their community.
Thank you, Smithy. Wonderful, Brennan. Yes, right. Yes. Brennan is a great person to talk to about that. I think it was like his fifth choice, which actually rarely happens. So that was obviously universe for him because he loves HGLO. So yeah. Thank you guys for sharing that. Let's see, we have a couple more minutes. Let me see what we have questions we have. Okay, can anyone take honors classes or do are only honors classes for honors students? And do classes across the different living learning programs, and do all of the different living learning programs have specific classes? All right. So I'll answer the last two first. So classes are specific to the living learning program. So they do not cross over across the programs, the offerings. And they're about 15 to 18 credits per in the programs. So you can expect to take a few classes over 2 years. Unless you're in Gemstone, it'll be 4 years. As far as if honors classes are only available to our students, yes and no. So the curriculum courses, so the living learning programs that offer that the specific honors college curriculum is only available to honors students. However, the university offers what we call H versions, which is honor versions of classes. And students at UMD are eligible to take those courses. However, they do have to go through a different route. So our honor students get automatic access to register for those courses. If you're outside of the honors college, the student would have to go to the academic college that actually houses that course, and they'd have to get permission from the academic college to actually register for that course. So there is a little barrier, but students outside the honors college do have access to honors version courses. And as far as what the difference is, like I said earlier, our classes are smaller, so that applies also to the H version courses. They're typically in a smaller setting, so it kind of provides a more intimate experience for the students that are involved in that class versus them being in a big general education course that's like hundreds of students. So has anyone taken the H version course here? Okay. Let's see. I will tag into, how many students get admitted to the program annually out of how many applications? Data.
So the Honors College typically invites around 3,200-ish students to join the Honors College to get a class of, this freshman class was around 1,050. Last year, the University of Maryland did have over 60,000 freshman applications. But again, the vast majority of those students invited to the Honors College were from students who applied by November 1st. So apply by November 1st to make sure that you are considered for invitation to the Honors College. We'll reiterate that here at the end. Just make sure it gets out.
Thank you. And can you change your living learning program if it doesn't work out the first year? So yes, there's an option. It's not guaranteed, but there is an opportunity to do that. So there's actually 2 opportunities to request to change your living learning program. The first time is when you actually get assigned it, which would be in the spring, this coming spring. once you get your acceptance and an invitation to honors, you'll have to go through the process of preferencing which programs you're more interested in. And then a few weeks after that, you'll be informed about which program you were assigned to out of the ones you preferenced. At that time, if you feel like, and at that time, I mean at that time, like don't delay that. You will find out prior to the confirmation deadline of May 1st, but like as soon as you get your program, look at it. If it's something that you're like, no, I'm really not interested in it, you can email us at honorsadmissions@umd.edu and request it to change. And what we'll do is we'll put you on a wait list for the program that you're asking to be transferred into. And then we'll kind of we will try to work it out. It doesn't always happen. So I wouldn't, bet on that, but there's an opportunity to do that. And then also, if you start your program for the year and at the end of your freshman year, you feel like, it's not really for me, you can, there is a application that you can apply for in the Honors College to transfer programs. The thing about that is too, it's not guaranteed. That's number one. It's contingent on availability. And three, you should know that any coursework that you did in your current program will not transfer over to the next program. Like I said, it's different curriculum. So you will have to start over with the incoming freshman class as a sophomore, which isn't, I mean, it's not terrible, but that is something to be aware of if that's what you decide to do. Last question I see for Brooke. They'd like to hear a little bit more about anthropology and geospatial data science majors and programs.
Yeah, absolutely. So both anthropology and geospatial data science are within the Behavioral Sciences College on campus, otherwise known as BSOS, BSOS. And I started out in anthropology, and the anthropology program is a small program. There's about 100 students overall in it, so that's really nice. I had very small classes. But you have the option to do a Bachelor of Arts, a Bachelor of Sciences. You can also do an environmental route with ENST. We kind of have like a communication between the environmental studies program as well for a cultural heritage tract. But within anthropology, we have subfields. We have medical anthropology, which is by far our largest. We have environmental anthropology. We have social cultural, and then we have historical, which is like archaeology, which was what my focus was while I was completing that. I love the anthropology program. I could talk about it for hours, just like I could with geospatial data science. I do love what I do, so please stop me if it's too much. But within the anthropology department, we have some wonderful opportunities. I was able to study abroad in Ireland for the summer, doing a field school there, and they do provide that every year as well for the foreseeable future. We have a ton of opportunities like that, and our faculty is just wonderful. I love talking to them. They're great. And for geospatial data science, that's within the Department of Geography. So there's two majors involved in that, which is geography and then geospatial data science. So geography is going to be more of like it's a Bachelor of Sciences, but it would be closer to a little bit more like humanities based or like human geography. But there are different subfields within that as well. I'm more familiar with geospatial data science, which does a lot more GIS, geographical information sciences, using a lot of software. I do a lot of coding. It's very different than anthropology, but they cross over a lot, which is great, and they complement each other really well. I am taking an image analysis class. We do a lot of remote sensing. Most of my professors work with NASA as well, so a lot of the things that they tell us in class about going into future jobs and then hearing the research that they do and sometimes even getting to see it firsthand or work on it firsthand is a fantastic experience. If you have any more questions, I would be glad to answer them. The geospatial data science program definitely has a lot going on with it. So yeah, definitely type in the questions if you have any more if I didn't cover it.
Thank you, Brooke. So yeah, a lot of exciting programs here at UMD. So we've answered all the questions. Yay. So it is 6:01. So I do want to respect everyone's time. So just kind of to recap on a couple of important things. Next Friday is November 1st. That is our early action deadline. So if you are interested in the Honors College and or any of the other living learning programs that UMD offers, they're all great opportunities. there's plenty of great opportunities outside of honors too. We love honors, but you could possibly get invited to one of the other ones, and we would highly encourage you to kind of look more into that if that is the case. But either way, if you're interested in any of those opportunities or merit scholarships, you need to apply by that November 1st deadline. Very important. If you have any questions, I see Jenny already put our email in the chat. And also, again, the host a day option if you want to shadow one of our honors ambassadors to learn a little bit more about UMD and if it's, right school choice for you. There's an in-person option and there's also a virtual option if that's more convenient for your schedule. So I just want to send a special thank you to our honors ambassadors for taking time out of their day to come chat with us today and answer your questions. Also want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. This is being recorded, so I'll post it on the website in the coming days if you want to kind of go back and look at, the presentation and or hear the Q&A section of this webinar. Thank you guys. Everyone have a good night.